All right. It says we're live, so I guess we're live. I guess that means we're back doing watching Amazon. You are.
The bold one, the cold one, John Colder Ice Lawson.
I'm Brent Leary. You know, the pause, it's not quite
it
the
doesn't work as
same.
well.
It's just,
Yeah, it doesn't work as well without us being there.
I know. I'm going to have to come up with something different.
Yeah, because you're the gimmick guy.
And that pains me because I really don't like doing things differently, you know. But anyway, hey, we're back. It's watching Amazon, the new, what is it called? A social
Separation.
the social separation style
Yes.
of it.
Social separation edition. Yes.
There it is. All right. So I mean, we had just talked about, we just did one a couple of days ago.
Yeah, was it yesterday?
Was that just yesterday? Nah.
Maybe it
was Sunday. That was Sunday. I remember it was Sunday. Okay. All right. But one of the things that we talked about was, we just kind of morphed into this thought was, we were like, why wasn't Jeff Bezos there at the White House with all the other CEOs, the ones that are working with the White House on the kind of the response to the whole pandemic? I was going to say epidemic, the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And they had a host of these CEOs there, and they were talking about how their company is going to partner up in the response. And as we were discussing, we were like, hey, wait, why wasn't Jeff Bezos there? Because Amazon has a lot that they can offer. So what was going on? And then we know what they've been doing. So let's talk about it a little bit. You want to go with the first one? Was the first part that came out was the massive 100,000 people they're gonna hire as part of this. You want to just talk about that?
Yeah. So Amazon saying that they're going to hire 100,000 workers across all distribution channels. That means inside their warehouse, and drivers, packers, shippers, pullers, all of that kind of stuff. They're going to really ramp up that part of their business. And they are also adding $2 to their pay per hour.
So just think about the scale of one company being able to hire 100,000 people at kind of like at a minute's notice, and on top of that, increase the hourly wage. So because they know these people are going to be working, they're not just. This is not a symbolic hire. No. I mean, it's a great symbol. Because it's something we're going to be in dire need of, but it's not just for that. These people are going to be doing some important stuff.
They're going to be working their ass off.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, because a lot of people are just afraid to go out now. I mean, let's face it. Not only just afraid, but the government is saying it's better that you don't go out as much. You don't have as much face-to-face contact. So. But we still all need stuff. We still all need food. We still all need supplies. So how do you go about handling both those needs? The need to stay separated, but also the need to eat and to do other things, right?
Yeah, I mean, and we've got a path that we can follow. We saw this happen in Hubei province. So how they handle that, I'm sure, is part of the model that we will try to emulate, and what they did in the Providence versus what they did in the epicenter, which was Wuhan, is definitely different. It's like Wuhan was 100% delivery only, for a long period of time, and that was handled very well. I don't know if we're how well we're set up for that yet. So that will be an infrastructure that we're probably going to have to work on, depending on where it is. I'm sure of New York City, they're pretty, they're well stacked for that. But some of the rural parts, you're going to have to go out and get it. So it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting. And also kind of harkening back to another part that we talked about is, all right, so them hiring outright 100,000 people to kind of handle the Amazon load. It's a great move because so many people shop with Amazon. Let's face it.
I'm on the fence on that. I don't know if it's a great move. I almost think it's a reactionary move to stay relevant and to stave off what I see happening, because this came on the wake or on the tail of Trump asking Walmart, Target, and other retail locations to help tackle the coronavirus. Amazon was missing. And then on Monday, somebody asked him in the question and answer about Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and basically Trump said, I'm not quoting directly, but this was the vibe of what he said was, yeah, they've been calling. I didn't pick up the phone. So
yeah, he said that, but the implication was, I don't know if it was an implication or just it seemed like the missing piece of that was somebody in the White House was picking up that phone, and
right,
there were some conversations going on.
Yeah, but it was nothing that he was saying or willing to say that we are working together on with them. He did. I'm just saying it was a very big isolation move, and I really do believe that the CEOs of Walmart and Target and other grocers are in much higher favor right now.
Well, we all know that, but that has nothing to do with the response. Let's face it. That has more personal stuff going on. But I think what could also increase the Amazon move would be, like we talked about, what if they're hiring all these people, but they're going to share this, this extra capability they have because they have so many people with other folks. It's a little different if you're hiring 100,000 people in the fulfillment centers, because that means that's your stuff. But is there a way that they can share these new people, these new hires? Maybe some of these folks will be in shipping, I don't know, but a way to actually share these new hirings to help their competitors meet the needs of the American community. Because I think if they're able to show that shows that it's not just, them keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, but them looking at how they can help the overall capacity to meet the needs of the American population beyond just them using that to service Amazon customers.
Yeah, possibly. I'm more of like, if I'm standing there and I'm looking at who am I going to call up first, I'm really thinking of Uber drivers, because they aren't doing anything right now, or not saying they aren't doing anything, but I'm sure the capacity now is even greater than that of what Amazon could bring to the table.
Possibly, but I think it's also the ability to execute quickly. And I haven't seen anybody else execute as. 100,000 people. That's the scale of that is ridiculous.
Yeah, but most of that's going into the warehouse to handle. Because let's talk about the next story. The next story is that Amazon has told all of third-party sellers, no FBA for you. Don't send us anything until April 5th. If it's not mission critical for coronavirus, and they list out the categories. So you can read that off, and then I'll put the two and two together.
Part of that is probably people ain't buying a whole bunch of other stuff right now. So they don't want to fill the fulfillment centers with a whole bunch of things that aren't going to be moving in the near future. Because let's face it, everybody's kind of focused on, the basic needs right now. And so if you're selling a whole bunch of stuff that don't fit that, all it's going to do is clutter up the distribution centers and fulfillment centers anyway. So this is, I know it's a painful move for those third-party sellers who aren't selling the things that people are needing right now, but it's something that I think Amazon made the right call on, because if we want to make sure that there's no hoarding and runs on supermarkets and things like that, the whole supply chain has to be optimized to get the stuff that people need in and out and to them.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking is like part of the 100,000 being hired is because at the same time we need to hire more people to handle the processing, and we need to slow the processing of other non-essential items. So they have to put a lot more people in place handling the demand of the essential items right now. So having said that, when I'm thinking about the 100,000 that they're hiring, obviously they are having a problem, or they want to mitigate a problem with flow through of essential items. So a lot of that 100,000, I think, is going to go to getting that backlog filled.
So let's kind of look at it in the context of, I think the most effective presentation that I've seen on where we are today with the pandemic was from Andrew Cuomo, the mayor of, the governor of New York. He did this. It was straight down the middle. There was no hyperbole. This is where we are. This is why we're here. This is what we can do. This is what we can't do. This is what we need help with from the federal government.
And the buck stops here. I really love what he said about
right. That. And the way that he presented it, it made people, it was tough news.
Tough news.
But it made people feel like, well, at least we have somebody that has a handle on the situation and is talking straight talk to us and telling us what we need to hear.
Yep.
And yep. I found that very refreshing. And I think his approach, no nonsense. Here's what we can do, and here's what we need help with. Amazon it seems to me like this is a similar kind of thing in the sense that it's definitely not on the same scale. We're not talking about, sick people and things like that. But what it sounds like Amazon is saying, what can we do? How can we align ourselves to be as efficient with it as possible? And let's do it. And I think that approach, maybe he wasn't standing right there in the White House, but could Amazon have done any more than what they seem to be doing if he were standing at the White House?
Probably not, but probably not. But I do feel that some of it is reactionary to the White House and Walmart being so close.
I'm not going to argue it either way, but I think, to me, and I'm not just going to limit it to Amazon. I'm just going to say it seems like companies know how tough the situation is, and it does feel like the greater good is the top priority versus what can we do to make sure we don't look bad, or what can we do to make sure we're not left out of that picture of the White House. Right. I really do. I don't think you say you're going to hire 100,000 people and pay them more money, and tell your third party sellers don't send the stuff in if they didn't have a higher priority than just making sure we look good in this.
No, I wasn't saying make sure we look good. I'm saying to make sure that we are also ready to be as.
Say you're going to hire 100,000 people and pay them more money.
And
tell your third party sellers don't send the stuff in. There you go. I don't know what was going on there.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. I think they want to make sure that they're ready competitively,
right,
to be a part of the need assessment going on. And I think they need, I really do believe that everybody needs to be at the same table.
No, I think you're right. Totally right. We have a comment.
We have a comment.
Mauricio Ramirez Ante. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but response times are critical to address the pandemic scenario. And that you can't argue that. And I think once again, what Amazon has done has that in mind. I mean, let's face it, everything they've always done is around efficiency and removing friction in order to be able to deliver things from point A to point B in a time frame that people are expecting. So I agree. The response times are even more critical for what we're talking about than what traditionally Amazon has been focused on. So being able to bring that to bear and being able to just the fact that they can hire that many people and get them moving in the right direction. I don't know of anybody else today that could do that. Any one single entity, let's put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, isn't Amazon one of? I mean, well, yeah, absolutely.
So the next step would be.
So we talk about the numbers of let's just look at the numbers of people. I mean, if you go to your Walmart store, it is amazing how many people come in and out. It's amazing how many people that entity employs in our America. I mean, we talk about Amazon, and Amazon is fascinating, but it's not Walmart. And we make it seem like they're on equal footing, but they're not. It's so way bigger. And we've always talked about how big grocery as an entity was and how Amazon has always tried to get on the same level. So what I think is that they're trying right now to level up their grocery, which has not been on the same level as some of these retailers that are brick and mortar, to remain a player in this, because they can run out of stock so fast compared to a Walmart that it's kind of scary possibly for them. I can't deny that. I mean, I want to, make Amazon look like they're the big foot in this industry, but they're not. They're a small player in this industry. But
I would say they're when it comes to efficiency and getting stuff moved from point A to point B, anywhere, at least just saying now, anywhere in the United States, I'll just limit it to that at the moment.
Yeah, they were having a problem. See, that's what I'm saying. They were already having a problem at current capacity. So bringing on 100,000 people will hopefully get them back to the capacity where they're not having shortages and lag in delivery times.
Well, I think part of why they're doing it is because, and this may be a game changer once we are past this pandemic, because if you're able to get people even more of the staples that they need without them having to go any place physically, this may be the game changer that takes e-commerce to a whole other level, because now the infrastructure could be in place, for food. It's already there, but now people are going to start using it more because they have to right now. And once they get used to doing that, there's going to be a certain percentage of folks who are going to say, you know what, I like doing this. I don't have to shop, go to the market, forget it. And so this may be a game changer. And once again, tilt things in the favor of Amazon once we get past this this pandemic, because this is the kind of thing that changes people's behaviors, not just for the short term, but for the long term. And if we're stuck doing this for the next couple of months, then you know what's going to happen after that. It's like, why stop?
Right. And I think, and it's so crazy. I mean, I want to talk business, but we want to be very sensitive to the scenario that is at hand with CV, but somebody is also asking, well, why did Amazon buy Whole Foods? And I want people to understand that Amazon bought Whole Foods because they wanted to be a bigger player in the grocery space. However, Whole Foods is maybe 1/10 of the size of Walmart in terms of food service. So it looks like Amazon is a great player in grocery. However, they're not. They are playing catch up.
They're playing at the high end. They're not playing around.
You know what? It's the same way. It's like when you look at online retail and what Amazon's doing and how it's a Bigfoot, Walmart is a Bigfoot in grocery, just the same. So that's the way you would look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you go to any Walmart and they got shelves and shelves of groceries, and people are buying every day. You go,
right? Oh yeah.
You know, and and they've got one on every freaking corner in every neighborhood. Whole Foods is very selective about where they put them. I mean, if you live in New York City, I get it. You think there's Whole Foods everywhere. But if you live in a place like mine, I have no Whole Foods near me.
Not at all. There are no Whole Foods in Stockbridge, Georgia. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
All right. Got a couple of other comments. Oh, all right.
How far away is your Walmart, though? Just to make it clear. How far away is your Walmart?
No more than 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. And mine is like 3 minutes away, you know?
Yeah.
So
and there are multiples. I was saying the closest.
Right.
There are some that are, if I say 20-minute, you know, kind of rate, I would say there's probably at least 2 or 3 possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
But ask me, the next question is, when's the last time I've been to either of those 3?
I know.
I couldn't tell you.
Really?
I can't remember.
That's another problem. I think not a problem, but it's another thing I think about too. Is that actually, you know, Walmart is cheaper. I mean, it's just cheaper,
but it's just not as convenient. See, that's the thing, man. There's a trade-off.
Right.
I have traded off maybe a little bit of a cheaper item. I have traded it off for not having to get in a car,
absolutely,
get into traffic, sit in a line in a store,
and get coronavirus.
Well, that's the new one. So that's what I'm saying. There are people who have never done e-commerce who I think after this experience are going to be e-commerce people.
And to your point, you know, my mom's like, "How do I order groceries?" You know, but at the same time, like, Mom, you can order them from, you know, Peapod, and you know, so I think anyway. This will be interesting. But this, I think, is part of the not fear, but part of the concern with the presidents and Washington working with your competitor, because I'm sure they're talking about the logistics of how to get Walmart up to deliver as well.
You know, so you were kind of saying, you know, Amazon has, you know, maybe some other reasons other than the top priority being help. There may be some other reasons. What's to say that's not the case with the other retailers that were at the White House, who is saying maybe this is a good opportunity for us to, you know, build a stronger bridge as a secondary reason for being a part of this. Because maybe, you know, these companies are not only thinking about the here and now, which of course I still say for everyone that was at the White House, the here and now is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
But there may also be saying, you know, as we're speculating on how things can change after this, get past this big, you know, hurdle, they also have to be thinking like, okay, so how are things going to look afterwards? And what do we need to do to make sure we are aligned with the new normal that's going to happen after we get past this pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the customer loyalty and brand affinity and reciprocity will be something that I think I mean, it's not like they're not aware of how you look right now is going to play into how America feels about you after this is all over. I mean, I think everybody has to be thinking that way. I think even what we do, we think about that. We want to bring you good information, you know, where you're going to say, okay, we trust these guys. I mean, so you have to, you know, that's always underlined, but I don't think that's, like you said, I don't think that's the motivating factor.
Right.
I really do want to see Amazon in that conversation.
You want to be, if you're a company, and you want to be looked at as somebody who is you can be dependent on. You want to be the ones that people look to at times like this. And if they look at you and all they see is, not to belabor the point, the guy that's trying to sell the 17,000 stockpile of hand sanitizers at $100 a pop, you do not want to be that guy.
That's a bad brand now.
You do not want to be that. You want to be looked at as when the chips are down, when all was on the line, you came through. And if they look at you like that, they will always look at you after the fact. After you get over the hurdle, they will still look at you and they will want to do business with you. So I think there's several reasons why, companies should want to be in that conversation. But I do still say the primary reason that all of these companies are showing up, it's because they realize this is serious. The American public needs help and they have the ability to provide it and they want to do it. And I say Amazon, we joke all the time about, Trump and Bezos, but I would be the situation we're in now. I would be shocked if either one of them, I'm really, to say that about 45 I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do think that they would put the greater good above their personal beef, even if the personal beef is one-sided.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt about that. It's definitely there. They just have to get on the phone together.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's probably another thing. You know what? And I can absolutely believe that. Now you make that point. I can believe that the only reason why they haven't spoken is because Jeff wasn't on the other line.
You think so? So you think it was somebody other than Jeff that was reaching out to the White House?
Going to speak to Amazon. You better have Jeff Bezos calling the president, or you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the CEO of Walmart, and you got some manager calling me. No, you need to make. I don't know if it was, but he did not say Jeff Bezos reached out to me. He said Amazon reached out.
And so, I'm gonna guess that Amazon and White House have their lower than Jeff and Trump, lower level folks interacting. But wouldn't it be a powerful thing if somewhere along the line, wouldn't it have been really the announcement that Amazon made is huge, but what if he had made that with Trump standing next to him in the White House as the country faces this dilemma? And here's Jeff Bezos standing, I was going to say arm in arm, but 6 feet away from the president as they made this announcement. But that would have been beyond the powerful act, the symbolism as a part of that powerful act that would have been the trending thing on Twitter for a while.
If it ever happens, it will.
If this is the kind of situation where if it doesn't happen with what's going on here, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
But
as you say it, and me just putting it in my head, I'm like, dude, it ain't happening. And Craig says Walmart plus FedEx equals Amazon better. He's asking
Amazon beater.
Beater, okay. I don't know.
Here's why I say no. It's because these are two huge behemoths of the company. And when's the last time two companies the size of those perfectly got it integrated, moving quickly with efficiency in mind? That's a tough one. I think they each on their own bring lots to bear, but they also bring lots of baggage to bear. And I think getting cultures that are so long-standing to work with each other, that's a tough one. I don't care what companies are involved. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Let me take something from. We got some LinkedIn. Okay, we got a couple here. First of all, hey Pierre Du Bois. Yeah, we don't have we don't have any Whole Foods in Stockbridge, man. What can I tell you? I live out in the sticks, so you know we don't have the highfalutin shopping options like.
And I don't live in the sticks. I mean, I don't. I live in Stone Mountain, Georgia. It's a primarily probably like 50% African American. The median income is pretty high, but you know we're not their target audience. You know,
Yeah, you're the target audience of Piggly Wiggly.
that is not. You know, that is such. No, because I really want to put that out there. I mean, we are affluent African American city, and the only reason why we don't have a Whole Foods out here is because I don't think they look at African Americans as being affluent shoppers. So that's just I want to put that out there.
Because there are some seriously big time neighborhoods. I mean,
I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't work here. Publix works, and you know they're not the cheapest.
Yeah. All right. That's a good point. All right. He also said there's also an argument for virtual money as well as e-commerce, given the interest in providing economic relief to directly stimulate the economy.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
I think, yeah, that's not the primary need right away because, well, it would be interesting to see because I did see they just had a press conference and they talked about. I don't know if this is going to actually happen.
Oh, it's going to happen.
But directly sending payments to every adult in the U.S.
I mean, we did that just before the last crash. Remember when Bush sent us all a check?
Yeah, but this would be digital. And that would be. I would assume this would be a digital transaction, like Pierre is talking about.
But I mean, it can't be a digital transaction.
Not because not everybody has
that capability.
That's
but I mean, the deal is it doesn't take an act of Congress to do that. That's something they can do very quickly, print those checks and get them out to these people. And I don't think just giving us a credit for a store would work because there's people that are going to have problems paying their electric.
You got to have cash.
They need
it's got to be cash. Now, what it could be is these stores can make the money go further by saying, you know, here discounting items as much as they possibly can to make that cash go further. But yeah, you can't leave out the people who aren't as tech savvy, who don't have the digital footprint that the majority of us do. You can't leave those folks out. So you gotta do old school because you can't leave out the least of these in this stuff.
Yeah. But everybody I know got Cash App.
All right, let me go to our buddy Alan Berkson. Two statements: food delivery, boom, that's a game changer. I think we all agree on that one. All right, here's one. Culture of Amazon is agility. In crisis, it's about how well you planned, business continuity, and agility to adjust to new circumstances. And that's where I think Amazon has it over everybody at the scale that they operate at.
Absolutely.
Totally on board with that.
Yeah. Even this, the hire, it's like the thing of hiring 100,000 more people is like, okay, that is a quick adjustment to the current situation. And they'll deal with it that way. I mean, it's brilliant because, you know, also at the same point, some people are not coming into work. Some people will probably get ill. Some people are not going to be able to work the same amount of hours. All these things are going to come into play. And I think Amazon definitely is getting in front of
that. Pierre kind of disagrees with what we were saying about 45. I don't know if he's saying that about 45 putting the greater good ahead and working with somebody he despises. He doesn't know if that will happen. I don't know.
That's that. We are in Pollyanna mode.
We are, but we need to be because we've heard so much bad stuff.
Exactly.
I mean,
seriously, I want to see that.
That would be
realize
so. Yeah, that would be such strong symbolism.
it would. It would be symbolism for the entire country. It's like if these
Absolutely.
two can get together, then me and that flag waver might be able to get together. You know what flag
That's
I'm talking
right.
about. You
That's
see what
right.
I'm saying? So it does carry some symbolism way beyond the business aspect of it.
And isn't that kind of what we're the dire situation we seem to be in, where we all, even people we disagree with on 99.9% of everything,
They're coming around.
We'll see. I mean, I hope so, because if we don't do it, well, here's the, kind of straying a little away from the Amazon stuff, but when you see those images of people down in New Orleans or Nolens celebrating Mardi Gras like nothing's going on, are you kidding me? Did you see that? All those people out there?
I didn't see it.
Oh my God. You got to see the video.
Really?
These people are out there like it's just any other time. And they're out there drinking, rubbing all up against each other with this virus all around. And I'm like, you got to be. And then they had a picture of at Disney World before the night before they closed down. They had this picture. It is like a mass of humanity all in one little space, smiling and taking selfies. I'm like, I would like just spontaneously combust being in that environment, because I'm like trying to get away from everybody at this point.
I know. I mean, I don't think we just don't. Here's the thing, and okay, because we're way off track, and I don't want to get thrown off track.
Yeah. Right.
But one thing is the Spanish flu, right? When was that?
That was 1918.
1918.
Yeah. Right after
so the
World
deal
War II.
is, nobody really is alive today that can articulate what it was like. So you're really talking about a fantasy in our heads. We can't, we don't understand, and we can't even imagine what's actually happening right now. And that disconnect is what we can't bridge. It's impossible for us to even fathom. That's why I was like, I remember I went to an Amazon group 2 weeks ago, and I posted, hey, they found, this virus is in Kingston. As he kept saying, Kingston, Washington. And I'm like, Kingston is right across the river, like 17 miles away from Amazon headquarters. And they laughed at me. Oh, you're being so blah, 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 blah. And so like, here we are 2 weeks later, and your system is completely shut off. But, so the deal is, people can't imagine what is coming. They really don't know what's coming.
I would suggest that you watch the American Experience documentary, that the PBS American Experience, on that Spanish flu, because some of the stuff that happened in the early days, it's been repeated today. Like there was a march in Philadelphia, like an annual parade in Philadelphia, that they went ahead with in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other part of the country, they started cutting all that mass social community stuff, because they saw the epidemic already starting to happen where they were, and then they showed a chart of you see these charts today of how the cases are going like that.
Yeah.
So they showed a chart of each of these cities. One went like this. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't have the mass celebration and community, they cut it out ahead of time. And then Philadelphia went like this.
Yeah.
And have you seen the cases lately? It's showing that Italy kind of thing.
Yeah, Italy is. I don't even want to talk about it. Well, I will on my show tonight, but I've been in Italy's numbers all day, and we are way more like Italy than we are like China right now.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave that to your show. I don't want to get
Let's
too
move
far
on
away
to the business portion of. What was the other thing we were going to talk about, though?
With respect to Amazon?
Yeah, I think those are the two things, right?
Those were the two biggies. That seemed like there was one other thing.
I know. I can't remember.
I'm trying to pull it up because it did happen. Oh, I think. Oh, no, I don't. No, I think that those are the two big ones because they kind of answered what we were talking about the last time, which is why didn't we see Amazon
at the table?
Right. And now 2 days later, we know that they were cooking up some big things to help with this. And I think there was more going on behind the scenes that we knew about. Even if it wasn't Jeff and 45, it seems like, I think I even heard them said they were in some parts there were communications on a daily basis, even if it wasn't the two big guys. There was the organizations, the government and Amazon.
They have to be in communication. We need to know what the supply chain for everyone in this country.
Right. And how could you not have Amazon at that discussion?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're not at the pool party, but they're in the background on the phone.
As long as there's something going on, and I can't say enough about how Amazon is to me. When you're able to say, when people are freaked out about losing their jobs, and you and every other company and industry is talking about how do we prepare for that, and here you have a single company able to say, we're going to hire 100,000 people and we're going to pay them more money.
Yeah.
That's
a good news story.
That is, and we sorely need more of those good news stories.
It's a good news story.
So let's end it on that good news, good feel story.
I'm out of here, guys.
We'll talk to you the next time. We're just going to continue doing what we do, watching Amazon.
Peace.